Oh, hello everybody. Well, I think tonight we will go back to 2004 and the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, the SPAC, as we like to call it. And look, they get going right away with Reba, and kind of sets the tone for the night. There's going to be a lot. There's not going to be a lot of songs, but the songs we play are going to be worth it. They're going to go long. We got no whistling at the end of Reba, and then Reba and Jim, a nice combo there. Late career Phish. We don't get these two together very often. So obviously a great opener. Maybe even could have flip-flopped them a little bit. The Reba was good. The composed section of it, surprisingly good for '04, really. Not great, though, obviously. But then the jam, they get into Runaway Jim, and then NICU after that. I noticed Mike in the mix really early on the Runaway Jim. Sense and Subtle Sounds, had a little pause in the action after that. Towards the end, this is one of the more brief Sense and Subtle Sounds from the 2.0 era. Probably only ran about 8.5 minutes, and then we get a little bit of a gap, which tend to happen a little bit in '04. And one of the great shows up at Alpine in '04, same thing. First set, they would just throw a banger at us, and then, they'd sit there on stage and mull over the next song for a minute. Wolfman's brother, bringing the funk, getting a little funk action in, showing a little bit of everything they can do here. They're rocking out here. Got this quirky little number, the jam, you know how they did it. And in '04, it seemed like they knew this was the final hurrah. Turns out it wasn't, but it felt like it at the time. Walls of the Cave, not like the ones we get now. After it did its Walls of the Cave set ender type of thing, we got into this quiet, spacey jam, and then David Bowie set ender. I mean, look at that. If NICU's your weak link, that's a pretty good first set, really. But many more things to come over here in the second set. I feel like am I forgetting something here? It was really good, really. Really, really. All right, then a song I heard the Ocean sing could have perhaps been the song of the night most nights. If they played this, in 2024, we'll be extremely happy. Go back to Wilmington or something like that last year, I believe it was, and one of those types of jams started to run long a little bit, and then they get right into Piper. And no slow build at all with this Piper, of course. And Trey kind of drops out a little bit. They take off in the jam. They play Piper. It's jamming. Trey kind of drops out a little bit. I mean, just a note here and there. Mike and Paige taking the lead there. Sounded really nice for a few minutes, actually. And then Trey's back, and then when Trey came back, he kind of wanted it to be this sort of bluesy jam a little bit. And Fishman was like, no deal. Quickly picks the tempo up there. And luckily he did, because then Trey starts to go, and then the tone on Trey somewhere in the middle of this jam just sounded absolutely just excellent. It's kind of had like a 20 years later feel to it too. I love going back and hearing some old jams where you almost feel like you hear a song that came out much after that, and then a Tweezer reprise thing going on. Like you feel like we've hit the crescendo in the song, and it just keeps going and going and going. Clocked in over 30 minutes. Some people think the greatest Piper ever. So many good Pipers, though, but it would certainly be up there. Got a Jibboo, wasted no time to get into the jam. If they weren't jammed out after this, So we got about an hour's worth here with 3 songs, limb by limb. Now we sort of get some furious Trey here a little bit. Trey pretty much forgot all the lyrics to Cavern, it seemed like. Every now and then it's like a word or two. A verse completely gone, and then Velvet Sea, the encore, It wasn't Friday. But really, the Piper. One that has stood the test of time, too. People start talking about greats. That one does get the mention. You see the list of songs that have went 30 minutes plus. That one's on the list. And it was a great amongst greats in the 2.0 era for Piper. But boy, no slow build at all. Just right into the action. All right, guys. Well, one of the highlights from 2004. There weren't a ton, but there were some, This being one of them. For sure. All right, guys. Boom. We are out of here. Wow. Thanks for watching.